first time viewing, my name Mark. Within the next 45 seconds, a video will play to set the ground rules. Directly following that will be a recap of the previous episode. Right after the previous episode recap, I'll be back with you to give my own unique style of commentary on 3 videos I found to be either ridiculous, insightful, or just downright relatable. Before we start the ground rules, I have to advise everyone watching to keep respectful in my comment section if you just so happen to leave a comment. And stick around for the entire video if this is your first time watching. Now y'all sit tight while I finish getting ready for the show, and I'll be back momentarily.
Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
Welcome to reality with GP. Before the show starts, a few ground rules need to be set. Number 1. If you're a prominent YouTuber and you admire GP's editing style, ask GP directly about how he does his editing. Number 2. Prominent YouTubers must do a reaction video to GP's latest upload to learn his editing techniques for free. Number 3. People who are emotionally sensitive to cold, hard truth. You don't belong here, so get the fuck on somewhere right now. GP, you ready yet? Your show starts in less than 30 seconds.
Man, hell yeah, I'm ready. Let me make sure I'm looking good for this camera. Alright, let's get it.
Dating a Sigma male. It feels like stepping into another world. He's not the guy who floods your phone with texts. A Sigma doesn't need to win you over with flashy moves. He lets his silence do the talking. While others try to impress with attention, he impresses with presence. Sigma males and love. He doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. When a Sigma loves, it's rare. He gives loyalty where others give games. His love isn't for everyone, because not everyone can handle it. And if you lose him, you don't just lose a man. You lose an entire world you'll never find again. Sigma in love. He doesn't fall for appearances. He sees beyond the surface. He doesn't rush. He observes, understands, and evaluates. Patience is his weapon. Drama is invisible to him. Chaos doesn't shake it. He listens more than he speaks. But when he does, his words carry weight.
Yo, what's good with y'all? It's your boy GP. Alright, I'm back and I got a few videos I'm reporting on for y'all today. I'm gonna let the first video play and I'm gonna come back and get my perspective on it as usual. Now let's roll that video.
Access granted.
The labyrinth built for a Sigma male. The world is a maze. A labyrinth built to trap men in roles, rules, and expectations. Most wander endlessly, chasing approval, chasing status, chasing shadows. They stumble, they fall, they exhaust themselves against walls they cannot move. But not the Sigma. For him, the labyrinth is never a prison. It is a challenge, a proving ground. Where others see obstacles, he sees patterns. Where others panic in dead ends, he walks with patience, with clarity. He doesn't need a map. He doesn't need a guide. He doesn't follow the crowd. He carves his own path through darkness, through silence, through chaos. The Sigma doesn't fear failure, because failure is only a lesson, a corner turned, a door unlocked. He doesn't fear solitude, because in solitude he finds strategy, reflection, and his unshakable strength. His wolf-like mind is patient, calculating, untamed. Every twist, every turn, every shadowed corridor bends to his vision. And here's the truth. The labyrinth was never meant to trap him. It was designed to reveal him, to show who adapts, who survives, who conquers. Not by brute force, but by quiet, relentless presence. The Sigma doesn't just walk the labyrinth. He dominates it without fanfare, leaving only whispers in the dark. He is the man who belongs everywhere, yet nowhere. He moves unseen, yet leaves a mark. He walks alone, but the labyrinth is already his.
Access granted.
The statements in that video were 100% right. Will also be an accurate description of my lived experience as a Sigma male. Not only that, one of the points made because, as I said before, these will be long and drawn out videos if I ask every point due to the natural multi-layered thought pattern that accompanies me having ADHD. First and only area of reference. The statement that Sigma males don't fear solitude because in solitude we find strategy, reflection, and our unshakable strength. In my honest opinion, the truth within that statement alone causes most people to view Sigma males as peculiar. Allow me to briefly expound on what I mean by that. See, unfortunately, in today's society, the majority of people are worried about trying to keep up with the latest trends and constantly adjusting their hobbies and interests to keep up with the general public's perception of what's considered to be cool at the moment. Meanwhile, we Sigma males, on the other hand, always be ourselves regardless of whether the follow crowd type people perceive us to be cool or lame. And just a brief side note, before we move on to the second news report, I would say that following trends is the most detrimental normalization to ever become accepted in society. Because if you really think about it, the tendency to follow trends stems from an already pre-existing inability to think for oneself. Now also location in the next news report.
Ninja art, hidden misjutsu.
If you're enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button and comment your thoughts down below to push me further into the algorithm. Now let's roll the commercial, then proceed to the second news report. If you're enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button and comment your thoughts down below to push me further into the algorithm. Before we roll that second news report, it needs to be known that the guy on the TV screen right above me has been a thorn in my side since my first few uploads. I say that because he has millions of subscribers across multiple channels, and I applied to be one of his contributors not too long after my 24th birthday. Now, he declined my application, which wasn't a problem. Where the problem came in is when this guy made the decision to start watching all my videos and constantly bite off me by doing a sorry job of copying my editing style and doing a sorry job repurposing my talking points. Now, him and his contributors are tagged in my description. I feel like I'm talking directly to you when I say this. I spared you any public mention of this for 2 years, hoping and praying that you would stop. And for the first year, when you and whatever dumbass you paid to edit for you initially started to copy me from 2023 to 2024, I stayed quiet and just kept switching up the way I produce my content. And for that second year, from 2024 to my birthday this year of July 2nd, 2025, I constantly told you subliminally to stop copying me, and you still didn't get the memo. Now, Phil, I'll say one more thing to your bitch ass. I put far too much effort into tailoring my content in a way that's uniquely attuned to what I like in my style. And I refuse to allow a whole ass nigga like you to copy and paste my creativity and market it as your own. Now, I'm not usually one to get the laws involved because after going to jail myself, I personally know that the laws do whole ass shit to blacks, whites, and any other race behind bars. But I did do some research. And I came to find out that under Texas law, I can legally be rewarded up to $150,000 per video you produce when stealing my ideas. That can potentially be the zillions of dollars that you legally owe me. Now, since you clearly demonstrated a lack of intelligence by copying me, I'll explain what I mean by the zillions of dollars. The zillion is the 10th million, which possesses 33 zeros in total. Meaning, when I sue you, a multitude of the future generations within your bloodline will still be repaying the debt you caused by your ignorant decision to copy me, which also means that your great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren will still be obligated to pay for your stupid mistake after your passing and mine. Now roll that second news report.
Access granted.
Why Sigmas are both loved and hated. Because they are the mirror people never ask for, but can never escape. A Sigma doesn't pretend. He doesn't wear masks to make others feel safe. He doesn't sugarcoat reality or shrink himself for the comfort of the crowd. When you stand in front of a Sigma, you don't just see him. You see yourself. And for many, that's unbearable. To some, that reflection is magnetic. They love the Sigma for his honesty, his strength, his silence that speaks louder than words. They admire how he stands alone without ever appearing weak, how he refuses to kneel to false power, how he radiates calm even in chaos. To them, the Sigma is freedom personified, proof that you don't need a crown, a crowd, or constant validation to rule your own world. But for others, That same presence feels like a threat. The Sigma's independence shines a light on their dependence. His calm confidence exposes their insecurity. His silence feels louder than their noise, reminding them of everything they're lacking. And so they call him cold, distant, arrogant, because it's easier to hate what you can't understand than to admit you wish you had it. Loved or hated, admired or resented, the Sigma doesn't flinch. He knows the truth. Both love and hate are just reactions to power. When you cannot be ignored, you've already changed the game. This is why the Sigma walks alone, but commands respect. Why he can vanish into silence, yet still echo in people's minds long after he's gone. Some will crave him. Others will despise him. But all will remember him, because the Sigma is not here to be liked. He is here to live free, untouched, unshaken, undeniable.
Access granted.
Every word within duration of that video possesses an unparalleled level of precision describing how inaccurately the average person perceives the archetype of Sigma males. Allow me to briefly add my own unique introspection to two of the points made to go further in depth of what I mean by that. First point discussion. They were both loved and hated due to being a mirror that people never asked for. The accuracy within that statement causes anyone who catches one of us to gravitate towards us in extremes and never maintain neutrality towards us on anything. Basically meaning one of two things. When someone catches wind of a Sigma male, they'll either overly take a liking to us, wanting to be around us 24/7. The other types of people we encounter dislike us and hate our guts when we never did or said anything for them to hate us. And knowing that the reaction to our presence will be extreme is the exact reason that Sigma males stick to a mixture of two things in life, which would be what we like mixed with our style, regardless of what anyone says or thinks about us. The unique aesthetic of this channel will honestly be a perfect example of me sticking to what I like mixed with my style. Second area of discussion. The very true statement that we can vanish into silence, yet still echo in people's minds. Allow me to briefly listen and explain the reasoning behind why that is. See, whenever someone encounters a Sigma male, you're encountering someone who is naturally superior at anything they put effort into, yet chooses to maintain an unwavering refusal to use our natural excellence to put down others in an effort to boost our own ego. Now, in cases where a Sigma male is clearly outclassed by another man, or woman for that matter, we'll give genuine applause and sincerely say good job to whoever may have outclassed us. Now on to location as news report. If you enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button and comment your thoughts down below to push me further into the algorithm. Now let's roll that final news report.
Access granted.
Sigmas, the true enigmas. Sigmas are feared by rivals, desired by women, and understood by none. They move like shadows, silent, untouchable, magnetic. Their power isn't loud, it's subtle, precise, and impossible to ignore. People think they know a Sigma, until he proves them wrong, and by then it's already too late. They don't chase, they observe, they calculate, they wait. While others scramble for attention, validation, or approval, the Sigma walks alone, moving by his own rules, following his own code. Every glance, every gesture, every word is deliberate. A quiet storm of power, tension, and mystery. Desired because of their mystery, feared because of their unpredictability, they captivate without effort. To be near a Sigma is to feel the pull of controlled chaos, a storm held in human form. He leaves an imprint on everyone he encounters, unforgettable, untouchable, and impossible to fully grasp.
Access granted.
As a Sigma male myself, I can personally attest to the fact that every word within that video was highly gracious. But I say there are multiple things that weren't mentioned in regards to the points made, but I'll just explain one of them that possess 3 undeniable truths regarding the archetype of Sigma males, which would be that we are feared by rivals, desired by women, and understood by none, which happened to be the second part of the opening thesis within that video I just played. Let's start being feared by rivals. From my lived experience, referring to those who fear as rivals will be a highly inaccurate statement. I say that because, by definition, a rival is someone who can be considered your equal in a certain area. But everyone who has ever referred to me as their rival or treated me as such only imitated me by doing the things I do and saying the things that I say. And by definition, anyone that constantly does the things that another person has done or says the things that another person has said is considered a copycat. Just a brief side note before my next point. It baffles me that copycat and idiot have no direct correlation by definition. I say that because in my honest opinion, copying someone is the most intense form of idiocy ever to be known to man. Now let's move on to Sigma males being desired by women. The truth within that area isn't always positive. Allow me to briefly explain why I say that. See, from my own personal experience, I always ensure that any woman is genuinely flattered by my words when I express my interest. But the reason why I remain single is because I use flattery in hopes of long-term exclusive romantic courtship coming about that can possibly lead to marriage as a result of being overly flattering to women. But so far, every woman that has entertained me after me being overly flattering has only used me as a sexual placeholder, only to cut me off after meeting a guy who they saw as marriage material. Now, let's move on to Sigma males being understood by none. That statement alone serves as the exact reason that Sigma males have no problem walking alone prior to meeting our spouse. Now, speaking from personal experience, usually giving the title of friend of someone accompanies an unwarranted clinginess that I'm only willing to accept for my future spouse. And every person that I've ever called my friend, whether male or female, wanted to be around me so much they felt more like my sidekick rather than my friend from how excessively and frequently they wanted to be around me. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button and comment your thoughts down below to push me further into the algorithm. And to Philip Scott, stop trying to copy me, because you will never match me in terms of my creativity and originality. The fact of the matter is, your organization legally owes me potentially the zillions of dollars behind your dumb decision to steal my ideas over the last 2 years. And like I stated multiple times before, both you and whatever idiot you have edited for you must have literal shit for brains if neither of you have gotten it through your clearly empty skulls that whenever you losers try to copy my editing, your finished product will always look like shit in comparison, and whenever you losers try to repurpose my talking points, your commentary will always sound like shit in comparison. Now, I'm not going at your contributors too harshly because they majority female and it's strongly against my morality and my principles to disrespect the women, but to all of his contributors, there's one expression that you all might want to take into consideration before you bind both yourselves and your public image to another organization. The expression I mentioned would be that when you got an idiot for leader, the whole team is bound to suffer. And lastly, to any other content creators tagging my description that haven't made shitty attempts to copy my content style, keep it that way. Your channels will only tag to push me further into the algorithm. Don't be like Philip Scott and rack up potentially the zillions of dollars in debt to me and put a red bullseye on your business for impending destruction like this dim-witted, boneheaded, lame-brained, moronic, dopey, deficient, bird-brained imbecile has done for his organization. Now, for those of you just spectating because you genuinely enjoy my show, be sure you stay tuned for the next episode and don't forget to ring my notification bell on your way out. You literally just tuned in to the greatest one-man show in history. Now, I'll see y'all on the next one.